Hello there guys, and welcome to a new series on my channel called Company Comparisons. This is essentially where I take two figures, whether they be from different companies or the same company, that came out in the same year or represent the same species, and take a look at them side by side. So to start off with, we've got 2006 Velociraptor from Schliech and CollectA. So the first kind of obvious thing is, do either of these actually look like Velociraptor? And the answer is no. The CollectA one is very clearly based on Jurassic Park, its colors and skull shape, so you could argue it's actually a Deinonychus. And this thing, the only identifiable raptor trait is its feet. So, as far as representing the genus, CollectA gets a point. So if we just go head to tail, the CollectA figure, it actually sort of resembles Deinonychus, which is nice, but it is way more shrink-wrapped. Kind of oddly enough, the Schliech one sort of ends the skull after the post-orbital, so there's an entire fenestra and the ear canal and everything that's missing from this guy. The CollectA one has got a more accurate neck position, like with the Schliech Raptor, it looks kind of uncomfortable, and again, there's not really enough head. Also, just the general head shape, it sort of looks more Carnosaurian, and it is way too wide, whereas the CollectA one has the more traditional dromaeosaur wedge. The arms on the Schliech Velociraptor are actually more proportioned to the body than they are on this guy, and the left hand is almost in the right position, but they both have basically got Jurassic Park arms. They both have fairly short torsos. I think the Schliech one, the Schliech figure is actually more proportioned like a real dinosaur. This one is, its torso is way too short, and its tail's a bit scrawny as well. And also the pose. This is a tripod. This can actually stand on its own 2 feet. And unlike every other Schliech Raptor, this one doesn't need a reversed hallux in order to stand up. In fact, it doesn't actually have dew claws, although the feet are probably a bit large and the foot pads are too big. This one does have dew claws, but for some reason they are coming out of the tibia. They are not even part of the foot. And they are also reversed, which of course is wrong. But the feet, aside from the weirdly placed first toe, are actually fairly good. And then the tail is just shrimpy. Like, it is way too scrawny side to side, whereas this one actually sort of has a quadrifemoralis muscle, and this sort of snake-like side to side is actually possible. And of course, the last anatomical thing is obviously that both of these are lacking feathers. They are very clearly both sort of Jurassic Park inspired, which is probably why they are fully scaly. But other than that, I think the paint job on both of them is pretty good. This one has sort of a dry brushing of white over the greenish grey, which I appreciate. And patterns on this thing are quite varied, which is nice. So overall, I think it's fairly obvious with this comparison that CollectA wins. Not by much, because it's pretty bad, but for 2006, this is a reasonable Velociraptor. This thing is, it's a basal Carnosaur in funky shoes. Like, yes, the pose is a lot better, but I don't think that can justify everything else. And to justify my opinion that they both suck, here is a K&M Velociraptor from 2004, which has feathers and wings and can stand up. So, thanks for watching. Sorry about the rant, and I'll see you next time.